Everyone, welcome to the Royce Reports. I'm your host, Royce. On this channel, we mostly discuss Xbox-centric news, but I do dabble in other gaming-related topics and reviews. So if you're interested in that, think about hitting that red subscribe button, and let's get into the conversation for today, which is achievements versus trophies. Let's talk about it. Now, I consider myself a achievement hunter. I have, at the time of recording, 226,205 achievement points or gamer score. Now, that's not like the most that I've ever seen. I've seen people with 1 million. I've seen people with 400,000, 500,000. So I definitely don't think that I am I am the greatest achievement hunter or anything. But I do enjoy chasing achievements. And so I wanted to talk about where this came from. Where did this process come from? Where did going after achievements and going after trophies stem from? And in order to find out where that actually came from, we have to go back, actually.
What are you simpletons doing? You're supposed to catch these things.
In order for us to talk about them, we have to discuss where that comes from, where all these things stem from, and what they are. So achievements were created in 2005 with the release of the Xbox 360. Microsoft introduced the achievement system, and what this system does, it provides you a means of obtaining certain achievements or goals in a game and having a little proof, having proof of that on your account. And the games that are launched have a base of 1,000 gamer score, and you try to make sure that you get 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score and get all the achievements along the way. The way that the achievements are structured, in order to get to the 1,000 to complete the game, each achievement is worth different points, and it could range anywhere from 0 points to anywhere above 150 points for some achievements. And so there's no real way of going about it. There's no real sense of understanding how these achievements are worth. And just because an achievement is worth more than another doesn't necessarily mean that it is harder to get or more important. Just because you beat the game, you'll get somewhere between 50 to 75 gamer score for beating the game, and that's just it, just doing the bare minimum. But there'll be some achievements that are worth 5 gamer score, 15 gamer score, and are actually pretty difficult and are very hard to get. And so the way the achievements are structured doesn't really necessarily mean anything for that achievement and the difficulty of that achievement, like something Sony does with their structure. And this adds to a total score. So the more games you play, the higher your score is, and you can compete with other people to see, hey, I have this much gamer score, you have that much gamer score. And it's kind of a way for people to have a sense of community, to be able to compete, to be competitive, to have something to brag about, kind of their bragging rights. So there's a lot that you could do with this. And I think whenever they introduced that system, it changed everything for me. So because they built this system the way it is, I feel like it adds a lot of replay value to a lot of games. It forces you to play a game a certain way that you wouldn't have played it before. So for example, in Resident Evil 2, you have to go through the game multiple times on different types of scenarios. You have to beat it with Hunk, you have to beat it with only a knife, you have to beat it in less than 2 hours. You have all these little achievements that normally most people don't go for because that's not what they play the game for. But me, I go after those things and I enjoy it, and it's a little badge of honor to show those off, and I'm actually very proud of those achievements. And it's a way for you to discuss with friends like, oh, did you do this in this one game? Because I got the achievement for that. And it's a way for you to be having a sense of community, and it adds another structure to the game. It allows you to see it just more than I'm gonna buy the game, play a story, and throw it away. It's I'm gonna buy the game. Oh, there's all these collectibles I need to collect. Oh, I need to do this with this weapon. I have to do this specific task and do all these other things in order to actually complete the game. And I think it's a really great system. I love the system. And I'm glad that they introduced it. And so when they first introduced this system, Sony came out with their PlayStation 3 console, and they didn't have trophies at first. It was just like classic games where you just pop the game in and you play it. And then they saw how popular that system was on the 360, and they kind of adopted it for their own system, and they created the trophies. So the first trophy didn't actually come along until June of 2008, and the first platinum wasn't even a thing until July of 2008 with Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. And so that was the first game to include a platinum. And the trophies are exactly the way that the achievements are. They're structured a little bit differently, but it's the same exact idea, same exact concept, except the one major difference is instead of completing the game 1000 out of 1000 like you would on the Xbox, you actually get a platinum trophy, which is unlocked once you unlock all the other trophies in that game. And that is your badge of honor of completion. And they didn't fully introduce that system until 2009, where then it was a requirement for all games to get certified on PlayStation would have to have a trophy list and trophies along with it. So which system is better? And that's what I want to talk about, is which system is better. So you look at the 360 and you look at the PlayStation 3, and you have to see where they've come from and how they have adapted over the years. Now, we'll start off with the 360 because I feel, in my opinion, it has actually gotten worse as they've gotten along with it. So you had the 360, which created the system. A lot of people were involved around. Everyone loved the idea of achievements. It added something different when it made the 360 feel like a next gen console on top of everything else. And back in middle school, when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out, there's this mission that everyone talks about, which is the Mile High Club, which is the last mission of the game. It happens after the credits. And there's a famous achievement for beating the game and then beating the Mile High Club on veteran difficulty. And it's a really hard achievement, and it's a very popular thing. And I remember just going over to my friend's house, trying to get it for them because I unlocked it by myself, and they're having trouble. So I would go over to my friend's house and we would spend time just like playing that mission over and over and over again in order for them to get that achievement. And so it was definitely a cool thing. But the way the 360 worked was the same basic concept is the same as it is now, where you have the 1,000 gamer score, unless it was an arcade game, which then had 200 gamer score. But then once we moved over and transitioned to the Xbox One generation, they made it to where every game was mandatory to have 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score, regardless of the status, regardless if it's an indie game, an arcade game, or a full-fledged AA or AAA game. They all have to have at least 1,000 gamer score. So that's something that they changed for the better, I think. But what I mean by how it got worse is you had a way to track every single game that you completed, because it would tell you on your homepage you completed this many games. And then you go over to the Xbox One and they kind of took that away. They took away the fact that you can no longer see how many games you completed. I honestly don't know how many games I've completed. I have the 1,000, 1,004 because it just doesn't tell me. And if I do want to know, I have to go through all the games and then count them myself, which is kind of something that I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do that. But there were some other changes that they implemented going from the 360 to the Xbox One. They implemented achievement pictures. So whenever you unlock an achievement, the background of the achievement can now be used as your background on your Xbox One. And this is kind of a cool concept. Like, there are some really cool looking achievement art that you could get by unlocking these achievements. And it's pretty much just unlocking wallpapers for your console. But most of the time, developers don't spend a whole lot of time thinking of an image. And so what it ends up being is just the icon of what the trophy would have been. And they just kind of carry it forward to the Xbox One version, and it's just the trophy image with a blank background. And it's like super fucking lazy. It's like they don't give, no, they know that a lot of people don't really go after achievements anymore, and so they obviously don't give a rat's ass about it. So that's a cool change that they ended up doing. And they also finally added a comma to the gamer score that happened within the past year or two. They finally added a comma. Another thing that they also implemented with achievements is something that a lot of people don't really necessarily talk about, which is the Microsoft Rewards program. Microsoft Rewards program is an awesome program that I recommend everybody going and downloading the app. It's pretty much Microsoft giving you points for just using your Xbox. And I've never paid for Xbox Game Pass. I've never paid for it at all. I have gotten Xbox Game Pass for free for the past 2 years, and I have it for free for the next 2 years based off of just me completing games on my Xbox and participating in random things on the store. So if there's like every week you do some tasks, which is unlock an achievement, look at this game that they recommend, take a poll, and you complete the task for the week and you get points. You buy a game that you know you're going to end up buying, just wait until you have the Microsoft Rewards points there's a little challenge marker for it that's in the rewards program, that once you click it and activate it, you could go and buy that game, and then Microsoft pretty much gives you $6 to $8 back depending on the points that they're willing to give that for that game. And so you get a lot of money back, you get a lot of points just for participating in your system. If you play Game Pass, there's Game Pass points as well that also accumulate, which by just playing a Game Pass game once a day or for a week, or unlocking achievements in Game Pass games, these all add up, and you could use it for many things. Like if you want to get diarrhea, you could get Taco Bell. If you want to be basic, you could get some Starbucks. If you want to pay some bills, there's some credit cards that you can buy. So Xbox is helping you out. Xbox is kind of giving back a little bit. Yeah, like I seriously need to stop eating Taco Bell. All my Taco Bell addiction is because of Xbox. They are funding my Taco Bell addiction and also fucking up my stomach. So thank you, Microsoft. Please sponsor me. And so there's this huge system that is involved around it that no one ever talks about, no one ever discusses. I think it's a missed opportunity. So if you do have an Xbox and you do use it daily or whatever it may be, please look at the Microsoft Rewards points. That is a great addition to your achievements as well, just because your achievements roll into your Microsoft Rewards points. When the Xbox One generation ended and the Xbox Series X generation picked up, they didn't really make a whole lot of changes to the Xbox achievement system. And I'm kind of getting tired of it, because you look at what Sony's doing with the trophy system, and I'm just going to tell you right now, it's better. It is way better. It is so much more smooth. The way they have it set up, the way they have it split up into different sections, it's just so much better. Like, for example, for Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, I can go into that game and you can see that I completed the game 1000 out of 1000. But then they came out with DLC, and I didn't necessarily play the DLC. And so what they do, instead of splitting it up as its own separate achievement list, they add it to the already established achievements. So instead of having 1000 out of 1000, it's now 1000 out of 1620 or whatever it is. And so it looks like I didn't complete the game because they just tack on the DLC points to it. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that, because now it's like, okay, now I have to go and play this. And there's some achievement, or there's some DLCs that are absolutely fucking abysmal to deal with. And those are the challenge DLCs that they love to just fucking throw into a challenge rooms in season passes, because it's the most lazy content you could fucking come up with. And when they throw in these challenge maps, all they do is just make these hard fucking achievements to try to have people engage in them and keep up player counts in order for them to get all the achievements for it. And so it's just a grindy way of trying to get these achievements. And I hate that companies do this. It is so fucking dumb. But the way this infrastructure is for the achievements on the Xbox One, on the Xbox Series X, is that it doesn't separate these. So it doesn't consider it being complete. And it kind of, it's a nitpick, but over, like, when they start looking through my achievements, I like seeing 100%, 100%, 100%, and then it'll say 67%, but it'll say 1,000 out of whatever the fucking end achievements are because of the additional achievement points from the DLC. And this is where something that Sony does a lot better, because Sony, whenever they get DLC, they put it in a subcategory. Like, when you look at the achievement, you have the base game, and then if you have all the achievements for the base game, you get the platinum. And then when the DLC comes out, for example, Spider-Man had multiple DLCs, and they even added a new game plus, which they also added a separate achievement list for, or a separate trophy list for. And so when you go and you look at it, you still have the platinum. It still says 100%, but then it'll go and break down every other DLC that you could potentially go in and try to get those. And I think that is a great way of separating the trophies that you're acquiring, because you still feel the sense of accomplishment for getting the platinum. And then if there is DLC that comes out and you don't feel like playing it, you don't feel bad because it still says you got the platinum. Whereas, because there's nothing saying that you completed the game on Xbox, it just says 1,000 out of 1620. Too fucking bad. You didn't finish the game. You're a fucking chotch. Let's talk about the PlayStation 3 trophies. So the way PlayStation 3 ended up doing is pretty much copying Xbox and just bringing that system over. But the way they introduced it, they kind of perfected it. The way that they have their system going forward doesn't really need much work, in my opinion. It is perfect the way it is. So you have trophies, and each trophy is divided by a different metal type system. So you have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and basically saying bronze is going to be the kind of achievements that are kind of easy. You just, just get for whatever. Silver is going to be achievements that are harder than platinum. Gold are going to be harder than silver, and then platinum is going to be the hardest of them by pretty much accomplishing everything in the game and acquiring all the trophies. And so it's a great system. And it also gives you, the player, an idea of how hard an achievement might be. Because you can just look at it and be, oh, it's a bronze achievement, okay, or a bronze trophy, so it's going to be fine. I should be able to handle it, no problem. And, and as it makes its way up, you can see how difficult it is. Also, they have a system that breaks it down in rarity. So you have an idea of how many players got these trophies. And it kind of like makes it kind of more of a bragging right. And Xbox also has this as well. But the way they do it is anything that is less than 10% becomes a rare achievement. And it has a special unlock noise.
Okay, head upstairs. Amazing work, dude. Okay, now that's how you run the pit. Okay, head upstairs and regroup with your team, or you can go back in and run the course again.
And that's pretty much all they do. And with the trophies, they all have the same unlock noise except for the platinum, which has a different noise. Now, PlayStation did also have some sort of reward system like Xbox, but they ended up getting rid of that, and it's no longer a thing. Now, whenever you play some certain PlayStation trophies, or whenever you unlock some PlayStation trophies, there are some games that will give you items for completing the game. So you could end up getting like a theme for your background, or certain avatar pieces and stuff for the characters because you completed certain objectives in the game. Xbox used to do this back in the 360 days where they would give you a gamer pick for unlocking certain things, or avatar clothing, or even other random things that you could use for your Xbox account. But they also went away from that and ended up just kind of 86 in it, and they just thought that giving you a wallpaper for every achievement was better. But it gives you incentive to even complete the game even more, because now you get a free premium theme for your account on your PlayStation, which is awesome. So another thing that they started to change with the PS5 was the way the trophy systems work. They ended up revamping the whole entire system and giving revaluing points associated with each trophy that you unlock. So platinum trophies are worth the most, and you unlock 300 experience, and this experience goes to your account as a whole. And what the experience ends up doing is you start leveling up your account, and it shows you like what your account level is at, and this is used for a way for other people to gauge what kind of trophy hunter you are. Because if they see your account and it's like a silver or a gold account, that means that you have gotten a lot of trophies. So a thing I want to also discuss is the gamer score number, the total gamer score. Like I told you earlier, my gamer score is 226,000. Now, when you look at that, does that mean I completed 226 games? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that I have cumulatively acquired that many achievements. So it could mean I have 100 games completed and I have 200 or 300 games not completed, but you don't really know. Whereas with the PlayStation, it tells you flat out, this is the platinum. I have 60 something platinums. I mean, I only have 2 platinums, but I'm over here talking about achievements and I only have 2 platinums on my Sony, on my PlayStation console. Like how fucking pathetic am I? Oh my God. Such a fucking poser. But but you have platinums, and you look at someone's account and it tells you, boom, they have something platinums, and you're like, oh wow, this guy completes a lot of his games. So that's another thing that's like an added benefit of just knowing. Whereas with the gamer score, it's just a number next to your name that no one other than other achievement hunters actually care about. Trophies are a thing that PlayStation is trying to make front and center whenever it comes down to looking at a game. Before you open a game, they give you the counter on the bottom right hand corner telling you, hey, this is how many trophies you have, this is how far you're away from completing the game, and this is how many bronze, silver, gold, and platinum trophies you have for this game. And it's just front and center. Whenever you go and you look at a friend's account or you go look up someone, front and center is their trophies and their level. They also implemented pretty much a trophy bar that when you hit the PlayStation button, it pops up and it has everything that you need to know about your PlayStation trophies. And it tells you like, hey, you're this percentage away from getting all the collectibles in this area. Oh, hey, an upcoming achievement that you could possibly get is coming up. Here's what you need to do in order to get it. And it'll tell you like to click on this thing, this little tab, and that tab will then take you to a video, and the video will show you exactly how to get the trophy. And then you can even from there go into the game at that point, at that exact point, to try and get that trophy, which is awesome. That's an awesome feature, and it's awesome that they have implemented that, because they see how much people are unlocking and participating in trophies, which is really cool. And Xbox kinda has the same thing. They go and you could go and look at your list, and on any of the lists, you pretty much press Y on and it'll search the internet, and it'll pull up in Bing what the first results are of that trophy or that achievement, and you could click on it and then watch it and then go back into your game through quick resume or being in a hold status, and you can then go and get the achievement based off of that. And it doesn't take too much, but the fact that you can do it without ever leaving the game on the PlayStation 5 is freaking crazy. And I think that's something that Xbox should also adopt. They are the ones that created the 360, and they're the ones that created the achievement system. And Sony, whenever they did the trophy system, they blatantly ripped it off. And they did make it better, but it just ripped it off completely. And so at this point, it's kind of like, yo, Xbox, like, yo, kind of look over at your neighbor's paper over there and fucking copy that shit, because what they're doing is right and what you're doing is not looking too good. And I wish they would do that. But sadly, they have not had any major updates for the achievement system since the 360. And they've actually taken stuff away from you, which is shitty. Another thing that I think is awesome that what Sony does is whenever you unlock a trophy, it automatically creates a video and it takes a screenshot. So that way you can share that to people. So if you are a huge trophy hunter or you completed a really hard trophy that you're super proud of, you'll take that screenshot and you could boom, post it to Twitter, Facebook, whatever you like to post at, and it'll just go instantly there. Or if you completed something that your friends are having difficulty with, you have a video saved that you could just send them and say, here you go, this is exactly what I did to get this trophy, and then boom, it's off over to your friends. And that is really cool. You could do the same thing with Xbox, where you unlock the achievement and then you could go and like record with the DVR up to like 5 minutes prior, I think. But the DVR sucks on the Xbox consoles. It is absolutely terrible. I don't recommend using it at all for anything. So don't even bother. But it is there, but it doesn't do it automatically like with Sony. Sony just boom, right then and there, you got it. Send it your way. What I don't like about the Xbox achievements and the way they have it set up is it is very, very unorganized and clunky. Like, you cannot sort it by anything. You just pretty much goes based off of what you last played, and you just have to scroll to the game that you want to find, because there is no search options for it at all. And the way PlayStation does it is it has a really nice flow to it. You could search for things. It's super easy. It's super intuitive. And it is such a pain to look up anything on the Xbox side of achievements. It's terrible. It's terrible. So the way that Xbox actually lists their games, it is really hard for certain games to understand where these achievements are. And for example, with Halo Master Chief Collection, there is no breakdown of every single achievement and the game that's associated with it, because this is an accumulation of Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo Reach. There's so many achievements associated with each of these games, and there's no way you could just search for a specific game. All of it is just laid out for you. And there's all 500 of these achievements that you just have to go through list by list and go until you find the game that you're currently working on. And this isn't just an issue with the Halo Master Chief Collection. This is also an issue with the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. So it has Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations all packaged into one game, and it has like a total of 3,000 gamer score. But again, it doesn't break it down by the game. It isn't set up by Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Okay, cool, I have these specific lists to go down in these specific games. No, it is one list, and you have to just scroll all the way down until you find the game that you're currently working on. Which is it is so annoying trying to go through those. Same with the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. They did the same exact thing. There is no breakdown. When it comes to Sony, they have the Uncharted collection, and the Uncharted collection is divided by each game. You have Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Here's all the achievements for all three of them, and here's accumulation of multiplayer achievements or whatever it is, all set here. They sorely need to update their system, because it is really, really archaic and old. It is difficult to search for anything there. So that's pretty much it when it comes down to trophies and achievements. These two things that are like a lot of people don't even pay attention to anymore. But I am a huge achievement hunter. I love going after achievements. I love the sense of completing them and having it as proof, because now, like back then, people would say the damnedest things and say, oh yeah, I did this one thing in Pokemon, and I did this one thing in Mario or Zelda or whatever. And it's just like, whoa, that's cool. Like, can you show me? No, I can't show you anymore. And there's no proof. But now there is proof. Now you can't fucking lie to me, all right? If you fucking lie to me, I'll fucking know, okay? I had a friend lie to me about Astro's Playroom, and I asked him, I said, did you play that fucking game? And he said, I never even heard of it. I looked at his trophies. What was there? What was there? You fucking bitch. So there is proof for these things. And that's awesome. It's a, hey, look at, I got this achievement. I got this trophy. Look at me. But yeah, this is, it's cool. It's cool that it's something that I enjoy doing. And I hope that Microsoft does at some point adopt some of the things that PlayStation has done over there with the trophies. I don't know if they will, but I hope they do. With that concludes my thoughts on the trophies versus achievements. If you want a definitive answer on what is better, Xbox achievements or trophies, 100%. Trophies are better. The only thing that's better about the achievements is the fact that I think the popping sound of the achievement is a lot more addicting than the pop sound of the trophy. The trophy is just too... It just kind of sounds like you're sliding into your DMs and being all grimy.
Oh, well, what I do is I look a woman up and down and I say, hey, how you doing?
Where Xbox is like bursting down the fucking door.
Change my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
And saying, yo, look at this shit, bitch, we fucking unlocked it. Like, and it's just it's a different feeling to unlock an achievement than it is to unlock a trophy. But everything else about the trophy system, the way the design is, the way the infrastructure is, the layout of it, all of it's better than Xbox in my opinion. But I'm still a huge Xbox fan. I still love Xbox. I still am gonna use that as my main console. I just can't help but look at PlayStation and just being like, yo, we are hungry, bro. Yo, give me some of that, you know? And it kind of sucks that that's the way it is. But what do you think? Do you think that trophies are better? Do you think that achievements are better? And what is your proudest achievement? Mine, personally, is probably the one that I had the most fun getting, and the one that is the most fondest. The one that is the most fond in my memories is probably completing Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, getting the Mile High Club. I thought that was awesome. It's a fun feeling. There's also other games that are just really fun to complete. Like, I still haven't beaten Resident Evil 2 completely, but I've gotten every other achievement except for one that I'm missing. But I have fun going through the Resident Evil games because of the challenges that they produce, and it just makes it fun. But for you, what is your most favorite achievement that you got? And do you think that Xbox is okay? Do you think that they just need to leave it the way it is? Or do you think they should copy what Sony is doing? Well, whatever it is, whatever you think, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you liked what you saw and you'd like to see more, then please think about liking, commenting, and subscribing. And that's all I got for today. And remember, take it easy.